30-minute presentation that I have, I'm going to compress into 3 minutes, just going to run over it, just to make a point, and maybe we can discuss it offline when we get more time because the panel is waiting. So it's a famous movie. I think you'll remember Dr. Shiva mentioned about symbols. It's about symbols and all, if anybody would have seen it. But that's not what I want to talk about. The point I want to make are two things. I'll come back to the angels and demon part a minute later. But if you read the caption, tell the world the truth. So that's what I set out to do today and when I set up our ventures. The truth as it stands is not as interesting as it would sound. So the discussion we were doing was a nation of angels. This panel is about nation of angels. But is India a nation of angels? It's very unlike so. I think Rajat mentioned about the pathetic situation of the number of angels in India. But just to make a point, I don't even want to compare India to US. Let us compare it to Canada. What is the population of Canada? 40 billion? 40 million? India is 1.3 billion people. You know how many angels are there in Canada? Good 3 million people. Almost 8% of Canada is angels. Where are we? 700? I mean, I can't even put it in percentage. 1,000 angels probably, and out of which 90% are dormant, as Rajat mentioned. So it's a scary situation out there. I think something needs to give. But times have changed. This was a situation probably 10 years ago. Now, it is important to understand that, sorry, it's not working, okay. It's important for us to keep pace with the changing times. What has happened is, who are we when we say we need to keep pace? We are people here who are entrepreneurs, investors, and enablers. So I am an enabler, but I categorize myself as an investor as well. So let us talk about, just to keep it short, about entrepreneurs and enablers, which includes investors. So what has changed? Back then, I'm just going to compare. 10 years ago, probably, there was a huge cost of entry as a startup if you wanted to make an impact into the market. But now, the cost of entry is at an all-time low. To making a website, to creating an app, what have you. Everything, the costs have reduced across the board. So it's a good time to be an entrepreneur today. People were thinking of brick and mortar 5 years ago, 10 years ago, because investors were not around, investing was not happening. But today, we are talking of scale. Every entrepreneur wants to scale, raise money, move forward, and make it big. Limited investor options previously, now we have many more. Limited exit options earlier, many more. Limited market, now we have the whole world as the market. Now, when I talk of enablers, what has changed between then and now? I'm talking of enablers as consultants, mentors, service providers, and investor group, the funds, the networks, and all the individual angels. So back then, people were taking exclusivity, all the service provider consultants or networks or anybody. But today, nobody should give exclusivity, nor should you, ask for exclusivity. Today is the time for syndication. An entrepreneur should not be left in the lurch that 6 months after exclusivity, he's said that, okay, I can't help you, I can't raise for you. Why can't he go in the market and syndicate from multiple networks, multiple angels, multiple funds together? So I think that is what we need to focus on, and that is what is happening today. Back then, things were more investor-centric or self-centric if it was enabler, but today it is pro-entrepreneur. It is all about entrepreneur is front and center. Hands-off approach, accountable. Today, there's a lot of accountability with all the enablers. Again, I mean, these are just points which I think are, which you can just read. I mean, we don't have enough time for this. But coming back to a more important part, today it's very important to understand that we as entrepreneurs, and I represent the investor community as well, but I speak for entrepreneurs, that there are quite a few angels out there, but what I experienced myself that most of them were devils and demons and were not really acting like an angel. Who is an angel? I mean, You have to come up from the heaven, literally come down from the heaven and provide a helping hand to an entrepreneur who is not able to raise money when he really needs to. He takes friends and family's money during the seed round, but a VC will not see him, is why a bridge round of angels was created. But if he's going to take a long time to just close the deal and keep you lurking for months, I don't think he's a true angel. So it is very important that he does not act as a demon, and we need to appreciate and hope that it moves in that direction. That's the limited point I want to make. Thank you.